Hey there, folks. I've got some urgent news coming out of Gaza, and it's a situation that's rapidly escalating, so let's dive right into it. First up, the impact on Gaza is massive. As Israeli forces ramp up their offensive, the southern areas are seeing the brunt of the conflict. Residential buildings like the Ein Jalut Towers in the Nuseirat refugee camp have been targeted, leading to significant destruction and, tragically, a rising death toll. The Palestinian Authority is reporting more deaths in the West Bank, adding to an already dire humanitarian crisis. Now, here's where it gets even more complicated. The Israeli parliament is considering a controversial move to label UNRWA, the UN Agency for Palestinian Refugees, as a terrorist organization. This has sparked criticism from the US State Department, which underscores the essential role UNRWA plays in providing aid to Palestinians. Meanwhile, people in Gaza are struggling with displacement and shortages of basic supplies. So what's the international response? It's a mixed bag. Germany, one of Israel's key allies, is facing pressure to rethink its weapons supply to Israel after a UN court ruling deemed Israeli settlements in Palestinian territories illegal. Chancellor Olaf Scholz mentioned that Germany would take this into account on a case-by-case basis. Over in the US, the situation is heating up too. Prime Minister Netanyahu's address to Congress didn't go as planned, with over 100 interns boycotting his speech. They're demanding accountability and a shift in US policy towards the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. It's clear that there is growing dissent and calls for change. And then there's the regional angle. The UN's Special Coordinator for Lebanon, Janine Hennis-Plasschaert, has raised a red flag about the potential for the conflict to escalate into a regional war. Hostilities between Israel and Hezbollah have been intensifying, and the situation could spiral out of control without urgent diplomatic interventions. Let's not forget the protests and calls for accountability. Thousands of Israelis have taken to the streets, urging Prime Minister Netanyahu to negotiate with Hamas. These protests are being driven by various groups, including families of Israeli captives held in Gaza. On the international front, 30 civil society organizations have sent a letter to the Biden administration, urging an investigation into alleged covert Israeli operations targeting American citizens. These operations are reportedly aimed at influencing US political discourse and silencing critics of the Israeli government. This highlights the growing scrutiny and demand for transparency. Ultimately, the clock is ticking, and the next few days will be critical in determining the trajectory of this conflict. The pressure is mounting on governments and international bodies to step in and find a peaceful resolution. But as it stands, the situation remains volatile and uncertain. That's it for now. Stay tuned for more updates, and as always, stay informed and keep questioning. See you next time.